I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in.
Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Well, hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'm your host, Chris Avalon, and yes, it is basically a show for those of you tuning in for the first time, where we just talk about all the latest celebrity news, hot topics, whatever is going on in entertainment. We come in here and talk about it. Sometimes we get a little political. I try to stay away from it unless it kind of interlinks with the celebrity news and hot topics that we talk about. But for the most part, we just sit up in here and we just roast and gag and we just cackle over the freaking celebrity nonsense that's going on in the entertainment industry. Because, I always got to give my unfiltered opinion about stuff, whether people want to hear the shit or not. And y'all love it, which is why y'all come here all the time to watch the show. And I have to say, I appreciate it. Especially, I want to give a huge shout out to all of you newcomers that discovered the show that we did, the last one that we did. Especially when I was talking about Funky Dineva and Claudia Jordan, I realized like I got a whole lot of new subscribers. That video really blew up. So I appreciate all of y'all that came in, the people that was in the comments, some of that they love my energy, that they love the show, that they'll be, tuning in a whole lot more and all that good stuff. So I definitely want to say I appreciate all of you that watch the show, that come on and watch the actual live show and leave y'all opinions and come kiki and comment and all that good stuff. So I want to say I definitely appreciate y'all. I don't take y'all, support and your viewers and all the other stuff for granted. Love everybody, good, bad, or indifferent. That's why we have this show, because it's like I love when y'all come on and say whatever y'all want to say. But yeah, so we do have a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about. But before we get to those topics, can y'all do yourselves a favor and hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification button, so that way you know when I go live. So that way when anything comes out or whatever, that y'all know when the show's going to come on and stuff. Honestly, there's not a lot going on in the entertainment industry this week, but I just wanted to come on and kiki. So that's why I'm here. And follow up on a couple of other stuff that's been happening throughout the week. Particularly, the Golden Globes happened this week. So Kevin Hart has spoken out. He's given his opinion about the whole thing, where everybody's going in on Joe Coy over the comments. He's been, his stand-up comedy little routine, or his open monologue, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It seemed like that comedians are probably going to become extinct, the way that a lot of people are acting between the fans and these uptight ass celebrities that can't laugh at themselves. Kevin Hart said he will never host another award show because, what happened with Joe Coy. We'll talk about that. Plus, we have some tea. Lil Nas X and Ariana Grande released 2 new songs and videos today. And who ate or who didn't eat? So we're going to talk about that, because I have my opinions on both videos and stuff. Plus, Kyle Richards is out here whining about that she doesn't like the fact that girls are sliding in Mauricio Umansky's DMs. Child, quiet as it's kept, women been sliding in them DMs for years. You was real silent, but all of a sudden this season, because you need a storyline, now you mad. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, word on the curb is that Diddy was going to be in Young Miami's reality show, and they chopped him from the show. So they just basically Sherry pied his ass. We're going to talk about that. The bank has foreclosing on Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann's George Mansion. I don't understand how y'all keep foreclosing on them, but they still get to sit up in that goddamn house like a bunch of squatters. But we're going to talk about that. Plus, Kroy wants half of what Kim is making from selling the family's designer goods. So he coming after the money. The bank is coming after their house. They're about to be homeless, and he trying to get her coin, whatever she making for whatever it is she out here doing, trying to sell her stuff on social media and sell lies about her damn daughter being pregnant. Plus, Jonathan Majors, child, he's responded again to this whole Coretta Scott King thing, where people keep reading his ass for points because he keeps saying that he wants his girlfriend back. Like, can you just go away and shut up at this point? It's like, I liked you as an actor, but the minute we get to know your personality, you're just making me really dislike you. So there's that. And then there's rumors circulating that Zendaya and Tom Holland may have broken up. So we got a whole lot of that and a whole lot more. But I do see there's some comments in here. Let's hit those real quick. Oh yeah, he said you saw me at the gym. Yes, child, you saw me at the gym because I posted a picture online. My body is killing me. Like, it was leg. Well, I was doing everything. I was working the uppers and the lowers, but I really focused on legs today. Like, I was running on the treadmill. I rode the bike. I was doing, the machines and all the stuff. I can barely walk because that's how much, my legs is in pain. So yeah, I went to the gym this morning and all that good stuff. And Miss Terrell D is in the building. How you doing? How you doing? All right. So without further ado, let's get into these topics. If y'all, well, I'm, I'm sure everybody already hit the like button, the subscribe button, and all that good stuff. And if you haven't, please do. But without further ado, let's get into these topics. So Ariana Grande and Lil Nas X, as promised, released videos today. It seemed like a lot of people released music this week. We had Jennifer Lopez release her song "Can't Get Enough." Who else released? Oh, Mary J. Blige released a new video and a song with Remy Ma. Both of the ladies look good up in that video. And DJ Khaled, I guess, produced a song that's off her "Good Morning Gorgeous" deluxe edition. Fantasia released a song "Superpower" from the Color Purple soundtrack. Everybody's releasing music. And also, sidebar, since we talk about the Color Purple and people from American Idol, congratulations to Jennifer Hudson, whose talk show was just renewed for a third season. So congratulations to her. No shade. I don't watch the Jennifer Hudson show because it's in syndication, so it doesn't air on any of the streaming services. I don't watch TV, but I do. Well, I don't have cable. I do watch TV. That's a lie. But I don't have cable and all this stuff. I only have streaming services, and there's no way I could watch the show. So, or is it on Peacock? I could have sworn I seen it streaming somewhere. I could be wrong. Her and Tamron Hall. I be trying to watch their shows, but I can't because I don't know where I can watch it. But I can watch. You can watch Sherry Shepherd on YouTube. I wish they kind of would do that, but they only put clips. Anyway, to get to this, so Ariana Grande and Lil Nas X released new videos, and I know everybody was hyped up about the whole Lil Nas X thing for all the wrong reasons because, you know, all the religious imagery and all the other stuff, and people was feeling the kind of way, you can't play with God, you can't do this, you can't do that. But child, don't get me started with this whole religious hypocrisy where, you know, religion seems to be the root of a lot of wars, particularly the one that's going on right now in Israel and between Israel and Gaza or Gaza. And now we got Yemen getting attacked and all that other stuff. So people have a problem with this. But like I said earlier in the week when I talked about this, I think it was in the last show, y'all had no problem when Kanye was out here calling himself Jesus and, you know, wearing the crown of thorns on his head on the cover of Rolling Stone. Y'all had no problem with that. Then I had totally forgotten. Child, don't we call isn't Jay-Z's nickname Jehovah or Jehovah Hove or whatever the case is, that based off Jehovah Witness with another form of God, another religion? I know Jehovah Witnesses and all that stuff. I grew up with some in my old neighborhood and stuff. Shout out to them out in Brooklyn. But then we have, there was that, you know, many celebrities have played with religious symbolism. Lady Gaga has, Madonna, you know, Taurus for using a lot of religious imagery in her art and has taken a lot of heat for it over the years. Nas has done it where he actually was, you know, dressed as Jesus with the crown of thorns on his head, bleeding. I forget the name of the video, but I remember seeing the video back in the day on MTV where he was walking through the crowd, dragging the cross, very much similar to the story in the Bible. So, you know, when Jesus was about to be crucified amongst the people. So there have been many celebrities that have used religious imagery in their videos over the years and in their music. I don't remember all this outrage until Lil Nas X came along. Now, I'm wondering, is it because he's a black gay man and people are mad about that because y'all be looking at gays as an abomination and all that other stuff? But then when it comes to other people, or maybe what it is gays and women. So y'all homophobic and misogynistic. So y'all have a problem when Madonna does it because y'all wanted to drag her in the community. Oh, she's desperate. She tries so hard, whatever, to be relevant every time she goes and uses religious imagery. But I'm like, if she grew up, like for me, for instance, I grew up Roman Catholic. That's the way I was brought up by my parents. Now, if I want to use a lot of the imagery in what I was raised on and what I learned, and I want to question things that were put in those situations, shouldn't I have the right to express that in my art? So I don't understand why people getting all upset. Now, I will say this. I watched Lil Nas X video. I like the visuals, particularly that headpiece, or is it a mask? I don't know what was on his face. The mask that he was wearing in the scene with the Met Gala. I need that damn mask in my life. I was living for that. The fashions was given in the video. I'll say that. As far as and you know, I did like the little thing where it was they were on the what was it? The stairwell. And you know, they had all the celebrity lookalikes that were trying to get into heaven, like Taylor Swift, Kanye was in there, Mariah Carey, Oprah, Barack Obama. I did like that part. Like, that was cute. And shout out to T.S. Madison, who made a cameo in the video as well. I'm like, T.S. is definitely doing the damn thing in regards of, like, getting all this representation. And she's doing it the right way. She's being her authentic self. And people in Hollywood are fucking with her, which is why I like the fact that, you know, with how her career is going, she's doing on her own terms. People take her as she is, and she doesn't have to kind of demure, make herself like bring herself down for people to accept her. You know, with the love you get the hate, of course. But I love the fact that she's getting all these big high profile. Kim has a lot of things. Beyonce is recognizing her, which probably played into Lil Nas X wanting to rock with her too. But because once Beyonce start doing stuff, a lot of y'all, a lot of these kids, these new generation kids, want to start following. So I did like that. I liked all the stuff. Now, regards, and I liked all the religious imagery and all the stuff going on in the video. Now that's all about the song. The song is forgettable, which I had a strange. Should I say strange feeling or strong feeling? I'll say both. I had a strange feeling and a strong feeling. I was like, why not both? I told you we love versatility on this show. So I had a strong feeling that this song was not, that the video, the visuals, the controversy, the trolling, all that other stuff that was going on online was going to overshadow the song. And that seems to be, it's not just him, but I've noticed a lot of artists have been doing that. And it's been the thing that has been going on for for a long time, is that y'all allow the visuals and the controversy and all that, all that energy and time that you and your team spends trying to create controversy because of the MTV era. Then the music the music comes out and it's underwhelming. Like, this is not a song. J. Christ is not going to be a song that I will be having on repeat. Not like Ariana Grande, yes, and because bitch, that's gonna be my new phrase going around for 2024. Yes, and that's gonna be me in 2024. Yeah, I'm gonna be saying yes and to everybody and every goddamn thing, because you wanna know something to say what you want about Ariana. Like, you know, she be going around poaching people men, because remember there was a story that came out eons ago about how she was messing with Big Sean back when he was with Naya Rivera. May she rest in peace. So that story and situation came out, and Ariana be kind of messy in a lot of stuff that she be doing in her relationships. But what she was saying with this song was, what that guy said, why y'all all up in my business? Like, why do you care? And I think it's because, celebrity, grist for the mill, all that other stuff. We enjoy all of that. But I have to say, that song is a vibe. She definitely ate in that video. And one of the things I have to say about what I loved about it, I like the whole thing was like, it's like a lot of people are addressing their critics. Jennifer Lopez poking fun of herself and making, addressing the criticism that she's had, that she can't stay 5 minutes by herself without a man being on her damn arm. And now in this video, you got the critics and all these other people that are coming in, and they're like, well, she doing this and this and this and this, and they come to this art show thinking that they're just gonna, get a taste of her new album, whatever the case was. So she's a statue, and they're sitting under this heat lamp. And I was like, okay, I live for the metaphor of that, with the heat lamp over them. This was like making them hot and all this other stuff, because watching the video, and we've seen that play out in other videos too, where the performer is dancing in front of them and they start sweating and they getting all hot and bothered. But I did like that little twist that they put on, where they had literally the heat lamp over the big heat thing over that, what we'll call it, a heat lamp. It was a big piece of, it was a big thing, but it was a heat lamp. So I like that part. And they getting like undressing, getting all hot and bothered. It's like, oh yes. And I have to say this too. What I loved about the video, the choreography. It was simple, not simple, but it felt like it was simple. But you could definitely see the technical stuff, and it was very much Bob Fosse. I definitely out of the gate, she was giving me Bob Fosse with the choreography, and how sleek and sexy, and just how she would just kind of groove with it. And I've never really seen Ariana really get down like that. Like, I always looked at her as like someone who gives you your typical pop star choreography. But like, watching this video, I was like, oh, I could definitely see that Wicked movie and all that time that she spent making that movie definitely rubbed off on her in regards of like the choreography and stuff. So between the both of them, I'm just going to have to say, Lil Nas X, I live for the video. The song, not so much. Ariana Grande, the video and the song both served. So Ariana Grande, if I had to choose, Ariana wins. New Music Friday and New Music Video Friday. So that's all I got to say on that. So I wonder what y'all got to say, but I'm about to find out in a second, because I see literally a lot of comments. So we're gonna go right to them. um. Okay, so hold on, because I got to scroll up now. So Felix, how you doing? He says I saw Paul Abdul post about Ariana videos paying tribute to, and you want to say I'm so glad, brother, because I was sitting there like, what does this video remind me of? I was like, I know it's a classic video. Definitely, she was inspired by Paul, like Paul Abdul's Cold Hearted Snake. I did notice. Now that you brought it up, that was I'm like sitting there wondering because I'd be ragging my brain. I can't look. The brain can only store but so much in it. We got to push things out to bring in new information. But I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't see that. But shout out to her because I'm like, yes, the choreography was very Bob Fosse, which I'm sure Paula was inspired by as well with the Cold Hearted Snake video. But yes, with the way that the set looked, it was giving much Cold Hearted Snake, Paula Abdul back in the day. So say what y'all want. Even though Paula Abdul put out like what 3 albums, she's inspired a lot of the girls too. Look, once upon a time, she was Janet Jackson's choreographer. I'm sorry I had to say it, but Lil Nas X song is trash. I thought, yeah, it was. I mean, I don't want to say trash. It was alright. But if you say it's trash, you can say it's trash. I don't want to sit and piss on nobody's opinion about stuff. But because I live for a difference of opinion on this show. But yeah, the song wasn't given. The video was cute and all, but as far as like, do I hear that song being played at the club? No. Do I see the gays being like, can you play that Lil Nas X track? No. I guarantee you tonight when the clubs, get ready to do what they do because it's Friday, after, all the clubs and bars and shit are done with a RuPaul's Drag Race viewing party. Because, new episode comes on 8 o'clock tonight. Which I will be watching later on. But once all that guaranteed the girls and the gays, or should we call the girls and gays the same thing? I mean, because the girls do go to the gay clubs, but the girls and the gays will just say that we'll be up in there. Can you play that new Ariana Grande song? The DJs already got that shit queued up. That, and I'm guaranteeing you, the drag queens already got that song memorized word for word, and there's going to be a lot of girls doing Ariana Grande numbers tonight. Trust and believe. The queens work quick. Visuals in the video and marketing was super. That's what I said. Like he definitely has a great team behind him in regards of like the marketing, the video, like how he put all this stuff together. Shout out to the people he got on his team. They definitely doing a damn thing. But as far as like the music goes, you really got to, in the words of T.S. Madison, since you had her in your video, he definitely got to step his pussy up. And yes, I love Miss T.S. Madison too. Like one of the things I have to say is like TS is definitely, even though I've been doing like a lot of people who, if you just tune it in now, how you doing? But I have been doing this situation, like the blogging, all that stuff, entertainment news for almost 20 years. The YouTube stuff I've been doing consistently for the past 4 years. Pandemic, all this. I've realized a lot of people started jumping more into the YouTube space during the whole pandemic situation. But yeah, I do agree. It was like, I love T.S. Madison and what she's doing and all that other stuff. Chris says, yes, I agree with the comments about the video. I haven't seen it yet. What's the name of the Lil Nas? Oh, Lil Nas X's video is called J Christ. It's easy to remember. J Christ is the name. Like, give us Montero T. No shade, but I ain't really care for that album either. I don't know. Call me a rare breed, but like the image and the idea of Lil Nas X, I like the music, not necessarily. I'm not really into his music like that. Now, I love my LGBTQ artists because I listen to a lot of them. I listen to McKim Petras. I listen to my Cakes to Killer. I listen to my Zebra Cats. I listen to a lot of the art. Like, I've been supporting queer art and music since the days of, like, a long time. Like, Deep Dick Collective, So Say the Elemental Wizard, Deadly. Like, a lot of those artists I have been listening to. Splash T, she's still around. She released something, what was it, a year or two ago? So, I've been felt Baron. I've been listening to a lot of the who was actually a friend of mine, Baron artist. Shout out to him. And oh my God, child, that boy gonna kill me because I just forgot his name. The one that sings, "We want justice, justice." Sounds like Janet when he sing. But I've been supporting a lot. Like I've been around with the whole queer art music scene for a long time, child. So yeah, but I don't feel like, but I'm just kind of irritated because I feel like the industry is trying to make Lil Nas X's be like the token queer black artist, like nobody else can come through the door. But I do feel like we do need more representation because The visuals is cute, but the songs ain't giving. And so you got a couple more chances. I am looking forward to that documentary that he got coming out on Max at the end of the month. So I'll definitely be watching that. Oh yes. So and then I do love Ariana Grande do song. I was listening to that at the gym because I was like, I didn't get a chance to watch the video like everybody else because 9 o'clock in the morning I was on my way to work out. So by the time I got to the gym, I hadn't seen the videos, I ain't hear the songs. So I was like, let me just put this on. It was real choreo in Ari's video, like it was perfect. And I was like, it felt effortless, and I did like the way she was moving, and so because it just felt like it was just effortless, it was sexy, it was just like she was really like in the pocket, as they say, choreography, but like she was getting into the moves and stuff. Like it just felt effortless. Like I know it was a lot of rehearsal, but it just felt natural, and it just felt like she was just in it. So, and I will say this: I'm not necessarily a big what does Ariana Grande call her fan? The Arianators or something like that? Sound like a machine that you stick in your house, like an air conditioner or something. So or something very like plane parts or something. I don't know. Y'all need to come up with a new name. Like Rihanna got the Navy, Beyonce got the Beehive, Nicki got the Barbs, Little Gaga, Lady Gaga got the Monsters, Madonna, what she call hers, the Rebel Heart. Ariana Grande, you need a better name for your fans, because I don't know if it's Arianators. I'm like, it ain't that name sounds a little too mechanical. But if y'all like it, I love it. Okay, Miss Terrell says, Sailor Mermaid, thank you. Just watch the video. I don't see how people could get upset about religion. Well, it's because, well, I've said it before, that people feel like when it comes to religion, that they're the ones that get to run around gatekeeping religion and what religion is, or who you could be, if it's blasphemous, or whatever the case. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. First of all, let's not go there, because a lot of what's in Christianity was stolen from paganism. A lot of religious imagery and a lot of things that's going on in religion has been used to basically eradicate and erase indigenous people. I saw Apocalypto. All of that is up in there. Um, Even though Mel Gibson directed that damn movie. But and so there's been a lot of stuff in religion that has been kind of flipped, reverse, changed, done all kinds of weird stuff. We ain't even gonna talk about the incest, because I'm like, first of all, if Adam and Eve were the ones that came about, how they have like how all of us look different, like Asian, black, all this other stuff. Like, where did we all come from? Because they only had 2 kids, right? I don't know. It's just a whole lot of stuff. Like, really, if you really think about it, you realize how ridiculous religion is. But if y'all like it, I love it. Do you think Lil Nas X was created? See, now you're gonna start that conspiracy theory with people thinking Lil Nas X is a plant. A lot of people be saying that certain celebrities come out here in the world, they think like Lil Nas X is a plant. Look, quiet as it's kept. My Virgo twin, Cat Williams, said that Kevin Hart is a plant. I mean, with all them jokes he be telling, and I don't be laughing, he just might be. And I do agree that J Lo delivered a banger. I do like the J Lo song, and I love the video too, because I love anybody that can poke fun at themselves. Now, them people that was at that damn award show, y'all need to follow J Lo's suit and learn how to laugh at yourself. But I don't want to jump too far ahead, because we do have that story coming up with Kevin Hart talking about why he not hosting the Oscars, and these people not able to, y'all making it hard for comedians to host these damn award shows. I sure don't. I do tell it. And I think that is probably my greatest weapon and my biggest charm part, that I'll read you and I'll say some shady shit and then I'll just end it with a laugh. So that way y'all know I'm serious, but relax. It ain't that serious, basically. Because we were taught that we couldn't dare challenge the establishment. Oh, yeah, exactly. And my thing is, I think with me always in life, and it's gotten me in trouble in a lot of ways and lost me a lot of friends too, that a lot of times when people say stuff, I'll be like, it's the Virgo face. It's like, huh? I don't know, huh? What? That don't sound right. And then I'll be questioning shit, and they be looking at me like, oh, no, you can't get none over on me. And that's why I've lost a lot of friends and I've cut a lot of people off, because people be trying to play in my face and they think I'm stupid, and I'm just going to sit up and be like, Gillibo, I'll go along with what you're saying. Like, oh, hell no, I'm not. So, and critical thinking has always been a thing for me. Why do you think I got an A in sociology in college? Because, critical thinking it's funny, I went to film school, but I excelled a lot because it was an elective, we had to take it, sociology. So, and I had to take classes with criminal justice students. So it was like we had to have that elective. Well, that was an interesting thing. So yeah. So overall, I will say that let me hit on this because I forgot to bring up the whole thing about Lil Nas X and that thing that he said before. The whole thing about him being compared to Gaga and Madonna and how he got an attitude about the whole thing. So he went on X because I meant to bring that up. He said, "Good morning. I don't care about you disrespecting religion, but I feel like you're just extra to be extra and yes, trolling." And this is what some person on Twitter wrote. He said, "What Gaga did," they said, "What Gaga," because I don't know if it's male or female, "What Gaga did with Judas, Madonna with Like a Prayer, Nicki with Roman Holiday, there's a sense of class to it." And I'm sitting there like, before we get to Nas's comment, uh, who are you to determine what is considered classy or whatever the case is? Like, I have never interpreted, oh, there's a sense of class to talking about religion. I'm like, really? Because you could have fooled me with the way a lot of these damn religious pundits be running around here with their hypocritical ass stuff. Yes, I wanted to bring this up so y'all could see it. And then he said, the problem with a lot of y'all's gays is y'all think I'm trying to be like Gaga or Madonna when in reality, with all due respect, I don't give a fuck what they did and I'm doing what I want with my career. Well, we do look. So now we got to scroll down and bring this picture up, child, because look, don't have the gays and the peoples go on social media and pull receipts, because they will drag you like when it comes to I don't want to bring nobody else in the conversation, but let's talk about it. Because it's similar. Whenever Lady Gaga would do similar things, people would bring up Madonna and say you kind of copying off of stuff she's already done. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. A lot of stuff, visual, looks, all this other stuff, similar to Little Kim. So it's a cyclical thing. My thing is, look, just say that you were inspired, that Madonna is somebody who you inspired by, especially with the controversy thing. You are basically taking a page out of the Madonna handbook because nobody does controversy quite like she does. So you doing a similar thing when you went on an award show, I think it was the BET Award, you're kissing two dudes. Madonna went on the MTV Awards shortly after Britney broke up with Justin and was kissing on Britney where they cut away. And sorry, I feel so bad for Christina because Christina basically got, chopped. Her situation, you didn't even get to see her get kissed. You saw the lips removing themselves from each other by the time they cut back because around that time it was like Britney and Justin broke up and they had to, get his reaction because he ain't know that was going to happen. And that was a great moment. But now, per usual, Christina got fucked over. Because Christina, even though she was the better vocalist, she played second to Britney. Britney was the bigger star. And that's no shade. I'm just talking about what it was. So, Lil Nas X, I'm side-eyeing you on that. You were clearly inspired by Madonna. You have definitely looked at Madonna's blueprint as a way to bring attention to a lot of the stuff you're doing. I hate when people do shit where it's like y'all throw a rock and hide your hand, and when people call y'all out on it, I didn't do that. Then I ain't do that. Remember that from Family Matters? Like y'all be giving that shit. And another person I'm gonna go in on is when we get to talking about this shit. Funky Dineva and Claudia Jordan. Claudia Jordan, another one that like throwing rocks or hiding her damn hand. But before we do that, let's get into more of these because I saw more comments coming in. Said, child, Madonna and Gaga got dragged when they touched the religious taboo. Absolutely. Yes, they did. And that's why I was like, it's funny how he's acting like he's going to be exempt. Oh, I'm just a black gay artist or whatever, trying to do my own thing. You should know that anything about religion stuff, how people feel about it and all that other stuff. And Lady Gaga did get dragged when she did Judas. Also, she had religious imagery in her Alejandro video. And I have to say this, I love that Alejandro video. The choreography, the costumes, all that stuff, even though the video was similar to Like a Prayer, it did have similar imagery up in there, the way that it was shot and all other stuff. There were certain things about I did notice, but they were dragged. And look, didn't what was it? Didn't Nicki Minaj didn't she get in trouble for doing religious imagery, dress up as the Pope or whatever when she performed? What was it was it at the Beats? Was it the Grammys? It was one of them damn award. We got so many goddamn award shows, I can't keep up. But I remember that Nicki Minaj got dragged and they were talking about that she was kind of exiled from the Grammys for years because of that religious performance, the Roman Reloaded era, where she did the video or something for that. So I remember. So yeah, they did get dragged. Everyone's got opinions with the definition of what goes too far in religion these days. I feel like it will chill eventually, like SNL or drag queens poke fun at politics and gender, as we should. So people need to lighten up. I don't think he was disrespecting Madonna or Gaga. I just think he was frustrated because it's like, can y'all just let me do what I'm doing instead of talking about, oh well, they did, like Lady Gaga and Madonna did it better. But the girls is going to compare. He should know that it comes with the territory. But if you want to air your frustration, he has every right to do it. But stop being like, I need Lil Nas X to stop being like Cardi damn B and clapping back every time somebody says something that they don't like, because they know how to get under your skin once you start doing that. Maybe it's hard for people to approach what they were so inspired by an artist because they don't want to wanted to coin the way from what they were trying to produce originally. Or take, I guess what you're trying to say is to take away from what they were trying to produce. I mean, it could be that. Well, good to meet you. He said, but my boyfriend has a good YouTube account. And last but certainly not least, I think he's getting more flat because, like I say, because he's an openly gay black hip hop artist, and hip hop is always has been rooted in a lot of misogyny and homophobia and all this stuff. And Lil Nas X is, um, he's challenging that aspect of the community. And look, the gays, quiet as it's kept, the gays have always stood in the background, making a lot of your favorite rappers, male and female, look good in front of the camera. Now that the gays want to not no longer be in front and behind the camera and now want to come in front of the camera, now y'all got a problem. There's another gay rapper I forgot to bring up too that I love too, Loco Ninja. He's another one that's, another favorite artist of mine. He don't really make music as much as he's focusing a lot more on his makeup line and all this stuff, but he's another artist. I met him, the one time I met him was back when I interviewed the queens for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5 at XL. Made that place rest in peace. He was there sitting around and stuff. And that was back when there wasn't a lot of us running around doing media stuff in the LGBT space. Now you look here, there, and everywhere there's somebody doing drag race commentary, which is why I don't do it no more. Because everybody's saturated the damn thing, oversaturated it. Yep. So, we have all that hyper masculine thing, but it's like, look, if you got the talent, come out and do whatever needs to be done and don't worry about what everybody else out here is doing. Okay, so let's get into these next topics because I don't want to be lagging on with, but although I am living for the commentary, I can keep it coming. But it's like, I feel like I'm spending too much time on that one topic. But look, like I said, it ain't a lot going on. Maybe I should shut up, stop complaining. Because I'm like, it's not a lot going on in entertainment. So it's like, look, flood the damn thing with as many comments as y'all want. I take the other stuff back. But, let me just move on. There's no time on this. It's not like regular TV with commercials and shit. But anyway, so yeah, let's get into this Funky Dineva situation. So Funky did address the whole TGIF, Claudia Jordan thing yet again. He did a show. He's been competing. And we already broke down everything to be broken down. We don't need to go and regurgitate what y'all already know. Y'all already know enough about it. But I just want to give y'all an update on what happened. So there seems to be this is the back and forth beef and all this other stuff. Funky did a video the day before yesterday where he revealed that he walked away from a job that was paying him $250,000 a year doing TGIF. And he was saying it wasn't paying him enough. Now, I know normal people would sit up in here, those of us who ain't making $250K, myself included, would be like, well, damn, that was a lot of money. Why the hell would you walk away from that? But that's probably the equivalent of somebody on RuPaul's Drag Race walking away with that cash prize. And the cash prize that they make on the show is $200,000 this season. Quiet as it's kept, that show been on 16 seasons. Y'all need to up that damn prize to at least 500,000. Or can y'all go like, what's the other show? America's Got Talent. They giving people $1 billion who wins that show. Why isn't RuPaul's Drag Race doing that? Like, y'all, the amount of money these girls are spending, y'all should be giving them more than $200,000. Same thing with Funky Dineva. I know people saying like, oh, $250K. I wouldn't walk away from that. That's a lot of money. How much? I mean, my mathematicians. How much is that after taxes? That's what I want to know. And he lives in Miami and he has a certain lifestyle in which he lives. I'm sure he lives well enough, but the way Funky be talking, And the amount of money he be spending on, how he likes to go down, what we say, go down where the Honda cars be, or when he be up in the bar, down to the bar where the Honda cars be. So when he go down to the bar, or he's hanging out, or he's hunching this one, that one, the other one, and he's living his lavish white woman lifestyle, I guess maybe $250,000 isn't enough for him to accommodate his lifestyle, especially he lives in Miami, Florida, which is the good part of Florida. And the rest of Florida, y'all can saw that shit off with a saw. The biggest saw y'all can find. Maybe the size of the crane it took them to build that damn sphere in Las Vegas. They need to saw that side to cut off all of Florida. Look, if some of y'all in the comments, that live in Florida, I love y'all, but no shade to y'all, but I'm shading your state because of who, Dumb Santis. Can't stand that dumbass. And I know people who live in Florida that hate his guts too. But nevertheless, let's get back to this. So he basically addressed something, but I'm like, okay. I was kind of like, should he have revealed how much money he was making? First of all, that's nobody's business. Like me, I would have kept that to myself. I also, in my opinion, would have kept that show, TGIF. And if I'm talking about money and I need more money, I would be doing my own YouTube thing. And guess what? When the day comes that I get to a position where producers are watching this show and they're like, Chris, we like your energy, we like your vibe, we like what you be doing over there solo. We want to invite you to be a part of this new panel show. So if they decided tomorrow to create the gay version of The View, and they was watching my show because of all the numbers and stuff, and the algorithm is algorithming and getting the stuff out there, and people are aware of what I'm doing, and the opportunity comes and they want me to audition, bitch, I'm going on that show. Now when I get it, I will have it written in my contract that I will do this show because to me it makes it a lot easier that you have a producer and you have someone that comes and gives you show points, not talking points, because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, but give me stuff to talk about on a show. Like, here's the hot topics for the day. This is here's all the research, all the stuff you need to do your homework to come on the show, do it 5 days a week, and you paying me good coins. Like, I'm making $1 million, but also I will keep my regular channel. I'm not just going to do that show and then just be like, oh, well, I made it. I'm Hollywood now. Because it's like the people that made me who I am, I still feel like that I want to give them the unfiltered side. So now if I'm on regular TV, I can't say what I really want to say. I'm going to say it, but I can't say it the way I want to say. I can't curse. I can't get a little too unfiltered. I have to watch myself because, FCC guidelines and all that other stuff. So I would have kept both checks. And who knows, maybe his work ethic is he wasn't as hungry, but because of what happened with everything, he, fire was lit under his butt that he feels like, now I'm going to go up against the show because I'm going to walk this bitch like a dog. Shout out to Saucy Santana. I'm going to walk her like a dog. And show her that, bitch, you needed me to boost your show idea. It was like, yeah, you came in with the idea that you want to do a panel show, and I know people have been talking about, oh, they need to bring this straight, commentator and all this other stuff. And I was like, no. First of all, TGIF, people seem to forget, TGIF was basically the antithesis of Cocktails with Queens. Cocktails with Queens was the all-woman show. You had all them heterosexual cisgender women on there, and I know people get mad over the cisgender thing because people think that we gays are using it as a slur, that we came up with the word cisgender, which if y'all look it up, is basically a medical term that's been around for a long time, long before we even knew what the fuck a cisgender was. It's a term. So it's not something we made up. It's not a word that we're using to slur women. We're not doing that. Your pussies and your vaginas and your periods, they're all safe, God be with you. But because I don't want it. I like having a dick. Well, I don't plan on transitioning. What am I talking about? Anyway, let's move on. So, okay. So with that being said, TGIF was initially built as a show where it was supposed to feature, it was supposed to be a queer-based talk show. So you got Funky Dineva, who's a spicy, butch queen. You got Al You Doing, that's the bisexual. Child, I be thinking that he is about as bisexual as Flame Monroe is transgender. Like he be playing, I didn't know that about the gay. Like you can't be that goddamn clueless about stuff that's going on in our community. Now I'm not always expecting that every gay person or every person in our community is supposed to know about all the stereotypes, the drag race and all the other stuff, because not every gay partakes in that. There's people I'm sure watching this show that don't partake in a lot of the Drag Race stuff. I know Sailor Mermaid don't really watch Drag Race because we talked. Oh wait, I just forgot. I didn't hit my banner. This whole time I didn't have it scrolling. Anyway, so with all that being said, so he came in and he said that Claudia Jordan was throwing shade against him and talking about how he behind on his rent and he not paying his bill. This is what he said on yesterday's show. And I'm like, this bitch being messy. So his decision to leave was his decision, but he feels like she's taking away from the things that he came up, like his decision to leave. Like she's feeling hurt because he decided to, I'm not going to renew my contract. My contract is up. I renewed it for 6 months. I didn't renew it for a whole year. And then when it came up to renegotiations, he told his agent he was done. He didn't want to do the show no more. So I'm sure there's probably deeper stuff that's transpiring behind the scenes. She probably thought, because she did mention on the show before he quit, I've had my issues with Funky. We didn't speak for a while. We worked it out. I hadn't spoken to Al because we was beefing at one point. They was being professional for the cameras, but behind the scenes, they wasn't speaking to each other. Then they worked it out, and now they're cool again. But then Funky pulls this, and I guess Claudia feels betrayed, and she's gone on a bunch of damn shows and has been talking about Funky Dineva and him leaving and all this other stuff. And now Funky's like, keep my name out your mouth. Leave me alone. And that's what he said in last night's show. He said, leave me alone. I'm done. Like, can you just stop putting my name and stuff? I heard she blocked him. She as in Claudia. Claudia blocked Funky. I heard that she and I don't know if it's true, how true it is, but I heard that she and her relationship with Al is now rocky because I believe Al, even though Funky is no longer in the Foxhole group chat, Alice and Funky are still friends. And my thing is this, if we, as coworkers, I'm not gonna stop being friends with somebody if I have a stronger connection with them. It's like, yeah, I got a job and I'm still getting my little check over here. But I gotta stop speaking to them because you feeling a kind of way. And look, I do believe that Claudia is one of those that likes to throw a rock and hide her hand because look, she messy. Remember, Nene cussed her ass out and told her clit left her body. Remember that on that season, The Real Housewives of Atlanta? And I was saying at one point, I did live for the fact that Claudia, was the one girl on that show that was able to go toe to toe with Nene and keep Nene on her toes. Because any other time Nene be up there dragging them girls on Atlanta Housewives, she dragged them down. She reads them down to the ground. But to me, it's just like Claudia did some throw a rock at her hand type shit, and Funky is feeling the kind of ways about it. But I just feel, it's I overall I say this to say I feel bad that this is what has happened with them. Like I said, this seems like the biggest social media internet talk show breakup, the biggest and messiest breakup since Kaya and T.S. Madison with the Queen's Court. I used to live for that damn show. I used to look forward to that show. And then they had their little situation because, that whole thing. And look, I already said what I said about Trashy K. Trashy always been trashy. I don't know why, and I still stand by this, what I said in the last episode. Funky being surprised that Tasha K will pull the stuff that she pulled when she did the same bullshit with Larry Reid and a whole bunch of other people. When, like I said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And she has showed her ass multiple times on how she treats people in these YouTube spaces. She did Armand Wiggins dirty. She did Jason Lee dirty. She did Larry Reid dirty. She did Funky dirty. T.S. Madison dirty. So when you start messing with certain people, and I do believe that Claudia has something to do with getting Flame on the show, because Flame, in my opinion, is problematic. And basically, as Robert said, and I was like, great analogy, and I didn't put that in the thing. When I read his comment, I said it after the fact. She is in the community where Kunis Owens is the black community. She is basically the black Caitlyn Jenner. She is Caitlyn Jenner in blackface. That is what Flame Monroe. Storm Monroe is the other commentator that that Trashy did dirty. It's another one. I told you the list is long of the people she did dirty and has been messy around. And like Nene Leakes said, you ain't never gonna win when you play dirty. And I truly believe that. That's why I don't play dirty with people. Now, if y'all do some shit, I'm gonna talk about it. But I don't feel like people should do other people dirty and all this other stuff for attention or whatever, or for that momentary moment where your little video is gonna go viral. Because viral don't pay bills. It really doesn't. It's not gonna make my check any bigger. Yes, you'll get a lot of people to watch and talk about it, but you ain't no Cat Williams in that context of where your upcoming interview is going to be like the big interview of 2024. So far, it's Shannon Sharp with Club Shay Shay and Cat Williams. That is the video of all videos. I don't know. There's been a weird shift in energy in 2024 so far. We're what, 12 days into the new year? And people have lost their cotton picking minds. I don't know what's going on with energy, but everybody just coming out guns blazing. We got Funky Dineva fighting with Claudia. We got Funky fighting with everybody. We got Cat Williams fighting with everybody. We got everybody out here beefing with this one. And we had Stephen A. Smith beefing. I'm like, there's so many people. Like everybody, the girls was fighting. I guess is the phrase. And don't even get me started about Flame. Like I said, she is a pick-me. Like I said in the last episode, I can't stand a pick-me. I can't stand somebody that's willing to be out here and let people like a Charlemagne or a Tasha K or these other people disrespect her because she wants that money, success, fame, and glamour. And now you are basically the step and fetch it of the trans community. And so you feel like by being combative and going against our community, I'm not saying we all are a monolith, but when you're going out here letting people call you mispronoun, misgender you, if you that's what you want to do, that's great. But I don't want that being the representation because you want acceptance from these people. So you want to let them treat you like a rag on the floor that they just wipe the piss off the floor with for attention and clout. Her old ass. So I don't particularly care for play. And for Claudia to bring her on the show, we knew what that was. So don't sit up here and say, well, I didn't know. Or I can't. He said he got a problem with everybody. He got a problem with Chloe. He got a problem with Haley. First of all, y'all can't afford to get Chloe and Haley to do an episode of TGIF. So that analogy was some bullshit. That's what she said. So for you to try to say, oh, he don't like all these other, you knew the beef that he had with Flame. And you knew what you was doing. You was hurt. So you brought him on the show. Her, it, whatever the bitch go by. Because she said you call her he, she, we, readers a Catholic league. I don't know. You can call her whatever. And you went along with it. So whatever. So Claudia Messy. And she showed us who she is. Okay, so let's go on to these comments. Let's see what it said. It said, the pizza has arrived and finished watching on replay, but has anyone noticed that Will Smith suddenly has been hush-hush from the P. Diddy scandal? I'm like, wait, what's going on with that? I mean, there's been something about the whole P. Diddy scandal and stuff. Look, Will Smith ain't trying to assert himself or nothing, especially when people still bring up that damn slap. So I say stay out of it. Let Jada sit out here and just be messy and saying a bunch of dumb shit to sell that book. Let her take all the brunt of the hateration and holleration and her dancery. All that money, he's still wearing those tight ass wigs. Okay, so he did say in his video that he wanted to pay homage to the old Funky Dineva Ross, where he was wearing that yellow lipstick and that shake and go wig. Probably got that from Vivica Fox's line. So, he wanted to wear the wig, and I was like, child, why are you backsliding? Why are you going back to that? You don't need it. You've evolved. I like Funky just getting on the line and doing what it is that he does. He was getting on my nerves with the whole church usher, the too many people in the parking lot, because he would get easily distracted. I'm like, you got like 20 goddamn topics you trying to get to in an hour, but you ranting on about, all this other stuff, and your internet was fucking up and all that other stuff. So I'm sitting there like at this point, you've been in the game for almost 15 years. You should have had all this other equipment and stuff situated. But I guess he was using the Foxhole equipment, and with him using that, and they were like, well, no, we want our equipment back. Now he's having to go and get his stuff. It is not going to cost you an arm and a leg to get a lot of equipment to do a podcast or a show, a live show. Like with me, I got, you can't see on this side with the green screen, because this is, the green screen stuff. I got 2 ring lights on. I got my microphone. I got a 4K webcam. I got all this stuff set up. So it's not going to cost you a whole lot. You could just go on Amazon and spend at least a good $300 for all the equipment that you need to do a podcast. And use, StreamYard or whatever to broadcast, and then figure out all the best. Like with this thing, I use. Excuse me. When I taught myself how to do the technical stuff that y'all see now, it took me 30 minutes. to watch a video on YouTube. It is so easy now. Thank God, because it's like, and then, down the road, like I said, with the whole producer situation and having somebody produce a show and be on TV, I can't wait to get to that point where I don't got to sit and pull all this stuff. I got to pull the topics. I got to do the graphics. I got to do all this. It's a lot of work. So I'm not complaining. Cause I didn't realize, I remember when I had a producer, I was like, I hate multitasking, but bitch, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And y'all living for the show on the simplicity, but it is complicated in a lot of ways, but not that bad. Cause it was like, just hit a button here, hit a button there, stuff pop up. I do plan to watch Drag Race, but it's too many spin-off. Oh, look, I've felt overwhelmed with a lot of the shows too, which is why I don't watch all the spin-offs. When it comes to Drag Race, I do need to finish Canada. Normally, I will say this: this is the first time in all of the 4 seasons of Canada's Drag Race that I have actually watched a full season of that show all the way through. I've always found Canadian queens to be annoying. The judges, first of all, I don't know. When you need 3 hosts to host a show, that's a problem. That just goes to show 3 of them combined, y'all still lack a personality. And I lived for Brooklyn Heights when she was on Drag Race, and she gives with the fashions. But as far as the personality goes, that Tracy Melchor, that Brad Goreski with his phoniness, and I met him in person last year at RuPaul's Drag Race, so shout out to him. But I'm just saying, the energy is just giving me fake and phony. But I understand that you're Mr. Hollywood you're Mr. Hollywood gay, so there's a certain image you got to uphold. And Brooklyn Heights, cute, whatever. But yeah, and the queens, y'all be annoying me as hell. So yeah, there's a lot of the spinoffs that's on. It's overwhelming. Look, they got Canada versus the world. Queens about to be revealed tomorrow. So it's so many show after show after show after show after show. It does get overwhelming. But the trick, what I do, is that you got to figure out which shows you find interesting and you stick with them. Like with me, I watched the original series because I've been with it for so long. I watched France because France was giving. And what else? Oh, España. Those are the only 3 that I really watch. I can't stand down on, oh, that's not true. I got one more. I watched the UK one. The UK one is cute too because Ru hosts that one. He also does Down Under, but Down Under is trash. And I'm trying to get into the Philippines, but I can't. And I love Jiggly Caliente, but Philippines ain't giving. A lot of the other spin-offs ain't giving. España is hilarious. I love the judges and stuff over there. So there's a couple of them, but you don't need to watch all of them. Quiet as it's kept, you'll find out who won anyway. All you gotta do is go on the gay blogs; they'll tell you, or Reddit. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's like, yeah, Tasha did Lovely T Dirty too. I like Lovely T. I did be watching her, and the only reason why I didn't know who Lovely T was until Sailor Mermaid was like, you and Sailor and Lovely T are the only 2 people that I watch because I guess we're similar in the way we do our deliveries. So I was like, one day let me check out her show and see how it is. And I'm like, because I'll see what everybody's doing, but I'm not trying to look. At the end of the day, you got to be yourself. It's too much energy trying to be like all these other people on here. So I got to be me. This is why I've been around for so damn long and why I love doing what I do. But anyway, so I watched her show and I'm like, I definitely see similarities. 2 completely different people, but the way we deliver was like we just say it like we mean it. Ooh, ooh, shout it out. Look, Wendy Williams has always been my spirit animal, like my go-to, my mentor, like her. The people that I look up to is Wendy Williams and Howard Stern. Those are the 2 that I've always looked up as why I wanted to do the whole podcast, YouTube, blogger, that sort of thing. So I started blogging around the same time as Perez Hilton, but recently, like in the past 3 years, I've been doing the YouTube space, which is like, the COVID time. Not Lane Monroe, child. Lane Monroe be clout chasing like a big and wasn't he mentored by yeah, well, no. Flame no, not Flame Monroe. It was oh my god, what the hell was his name? The other Monroe child. He was mentored by Tasha K, but the word was that he was picked by Tasha to go, I believe, to go against Armand Wiggins or something or other. I believe Armand told that story one time or whatever. So Tasha was, she took somebody under her wing because she wanted to use them to go after. That's been also an MO that she does too. She likes to bring up people and use them and act like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help you with your career stuff, but she's using them to go against her competition. I don't see nobody as competition. I feel like I've said so many times, because one person said to me, and we're gonna get to the rest of the topics after I finish this. One person said to me that, because I had somebody slide into my DMs the other day, which I totally encourage. Get your minds out of the gutter, people. Because he said that, oh, I want to get into the YouTube space. I want to do I want to do YouTube videos and stuff. Oh, I don't want to step on your toes, and I don't want to compete and get in your way. I was like, there's room, like, I don't look at people as competition. I feel like there's enough room for all of us to be doing what we're doing in this space. And we as consumers have the choice of whether or not we want to go and pick who we want to choose to watch and support. So that's all. That's all when it comes to that. It's oversaturating a lot of stuff, but it's up to you to decide. It's like, oh, I like that person. I don't particularly care for that person, or whatever the case was. It depends on what you're looking for. So I don't. I don't. I guess it was coming from a place of insecurity, but I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm totally confident in who I am as a person. So if you want to come out in YouTube and do videos on some of the stuff, go ahead and do it. But just know it's not easy in order to get those algorithms, because algorithms are fickle, child. And that's another thing too that Funky Dineva needs to worry about, is the fact that, yes, this week your show is doing really well because you're putting up against TGIF, and oh, it was Storm Monroe. Now it came to me. I don't know. I just drew a blank the whole time that we were talking about earlier. Well, while it's great and all that, his numbers is doing really well because we living for the mess. We loving the fact that, unfortunately, we like grist for the mill. We like drama. We like mess. So we want to see who's going to win in which department. And quiet as is kept. Now that Funk is no longer part of the show, I do not feel that Claudia and Al are interesting enough to keep that show going. So they need to find somebody who is just as good as Funky on that show, because who else are they going to bring? And you bringing Flame is not the tea at all. So I don't know. Y'all need to figure out who y'all going to bring. I know people talk about, well, you need to bring this girl in. You need to bring this straight guy. It's like, no, that's not what the show is. You need to bring on somebody of the LGBTQ community. And no, not T.S. Madison, because T.S. is busy. She's over there with World of Wonder and Drag Race, and she's doing movies, and she's making cameos and music videos, and she ain't got time to be sitting up in there with Claudia and them. Claudia over there doing Tubi movies, and Al doing what Al does. Shout out to Wendy Williams for coming up with that "Al you doing" term. That shit used to give me a cackle back in the day when she came up with that. Call him "Al you doing." So I'm like, she ain't using it no more. I'm gonna use it. All right, so let's get into this next topic and talk about Kevin Hart. Talk about how he is not hosting the Oscars because all the backlash that comedians get when they host. Now, shout out to Variety for this team. He says, now Hart, if y'all remember, was due to host the 2019 Oscars, but stepped down after an outcry over previous anti-gay tweets and comments he made during stand-up routines a decade ago. He later told Variety that he'll never do it again and is sticking to his stance. Now, speaking of Sky News, Hart said, whatever little hope you had, I want to destroy it right now. Those gigs aren't good gigs for comics. It's no shot to the Oscars, no shot to the Globes or anything else. Those just aren't comedy-friendly environments anymore. I think they got it right one year where it was just like a bunch of personalities acting as the host, and that's a nice thing. It's a collaborative thing. Different people get to be responsible for act 1, act 2, act 3, but the days of it being a room for a comic, those days are done. Now, Hart has previously hosted the BET Award, the MTV VMAs, and the MTV Movie Awards, and he praised his fellow comics who had successful hosting gigs, saying shout out to those who have cracked the code and done it right early on. The Chris Rocks, the Billy Crystals, the Tina Feys, Amy Poehler's, Ricky Gervais. There's a lot of people that understand that if you are not an industry comic, meaning a comic that has relationships of all, then those rooms are very cold. So me doing it is, of course, at an advantage because I know the room and for me and familiar with so many, which is probably why they called him Plant, because Kevin Hart is Hollywood. Kevin Hart is someone who cannot host an award show because he knows too many people. He's acted in too many movies with a lot of those people. And you have to get somebody hosting that doesn't care. You have to get somebody like a Chris Rock, who y'all know what y'all getting when you get a Chris Rock. And people is like water off a duck's back when he does it. See, back when I was growing up, I used to watch, Chris Rock and all of them. I used to love when Chris Rock hosted the VMAs. He would go in on everybody. And back then, I guess because it was just like social media wasn't what it is now, is why people why was that's why I guess the energy has shifted. So when you get these comedians that want to go in like a Joe Coy and say his little jokes, and I do feel like the thing that he said about Taylor Swift, the joke wasn't bad. It was the delivery. So when you say something, you got to really say it with your chest. And in the words of Ariana Grande, I told him yes, and I'm going to be quoting that throughout the show. You got to say it with your chest and mean it. So I don't see that the jokes that he was saying was a big deal, but I just feel like Joe was probably, because this is the first big gig that he's had in regards of like hosting an award show, because he is a well-known comedian, but a lot of people in the mainstream space is not familiar with Joe Coy. I've been following Joe Coy's career for years. Joe Coy is funny. He just wasn't funny at the Golden. And to me, I loved what Ricky Gervais did with the Golden Globes, and what Tina Fey and Amy Poehler has done in regards to the award shows of Chris Rock and all those. But I feel like maybe what it is now is also these award shows want to be kissing the celebrity butts, so they don't want to rock the boat too much. So now you got to play it safe. Nobody wants to say anything. Like someone also said to me the other day, they noticed that the celebrities didn't say anything political. They're not saying anything against what's going on with the Israel-Hamas war. And why would they? Because we saw what they did to freaking Melissa Barrera. Shout out to her, because she about to be in that new movie Abigail, which I'm gonna take my ass to the movie to see opening night, because that movie looks good. The one with the little girl, that they kidnapped the little girl, and all they have to do is stay in that place overnight. They get $50 million. Now I realize the little girl's a vampire, so I was like, shout out to Radio Silence. That's a good twist on a show. She's Dracula's daughter, actually. That was actually the name of the movie. And I think she is Dracula's daughter. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So you saw what happened with Melissa Barrera, where she got dragged and she lost a job because she stood with, what's happening in Gaza. But you got people out here like Noah Schnapp, who's currently filming the new season, final season, thank God, of Stranger Things, and has said a lot of stuff against the Gaza. He still get to keep his job. Amy Schumer, fat, unfunny ass, get to still keep her goddamn job doing whatever it is the hell she doing by saying all the stuff she's saying. Michael Rappaport, all these other people out here saying stuff, nothing happens to them. But the minute y'all go against Israel, then it's a problem. So I can totally understand why celebrities ain't saying what they saying. They don't want their livelihood to be at stake. So why should they? Not everybody should have to get up and say something political. They shouldn't. Although, if you want to, you should be allowed to as well and not be penalized for it. So I totally get where Kevin Hart is coming from. So what do we do at this point? Do we just not have comedians altogether? Or do y'all just keep having Ricky Gervais back? But then again, like I said before, the studios and people are probably like, no, we don't want, because we're not going to send our celebrities in to do your award shows. I don't know, that could be the case. I don't know. But I feel like at this point, maybe they just need to start having hostless award shows. I feel like the days of award show hosts, it's pretty much done. Just like, to be honest, I feel like award shows are dead. I don't feel like people are really as invested in award shows like we used to be back in the day. I feel like social media has changed so much on how we watch award shows or perceive. I don't even watch award shows. I feel like the award shows I'll watch, the Grammys and the Oscars, because they're the main ones, and the VMAs, depending. But for the most part, and the BET Awards, I do watch that because they mix it up. But with hip hop, all those stuff, and I watch the Soul Train Awards. But for the most part, we really don't need a lot of these other awards. The SAG Awards is what it is. It's about people in Screen Actors Guild. That's kind of boring. There's so many award shows that is not interesting. The Golden Globes ain't worth shit, ain't worth the price of tea in China. I don't understand why we have that, but I do like the idea that they get to just sit around and drink and have a good time, which I kind of feel like maybe the Oscars need to look at the Golden Globes and take a page out of it and make their show interesting. First of all, them award show be like damn near 4 hours and it's boring. So they need to figure it out. But like I said, I feel like the days of the comedian hosting an award show, that's done. Maybe save that for the VMAs or the MTV Movie Awards. MTV, is less serious with how they do stuff. So have the comedians go over there. The kids don't care. The influencers, all of them go over there for that stuff. So they'll have a good old time with that. They don't mind being roasted. Um, he said I nominate Alexander Rogers. He'd be perfect for the funky seat. Who is that? I need to look that up. I've never heard of Alex Rogers. Maybe I have. I just don't know that name. Um, But yeah, they need to bring somebody in, like I said before, in regards of like they have to stay. Like if you're gonna do TGIF, continue with that. You need to bring in. It needs to be a not TG. It needs to be a somebody in the LGBTQ community. That's a personality. There's a lot of them running around on YouTube right now that y'all can look up and hold open auditions, similar to what they did with The View. A lot of the people that we've seen on these shows, like The View, The Real stuff, did we know who the hell they was when they first came on? Like when I watched The Real, who did I know on that show? I knew Lonnie Love because she's a comedian. I knew Adrian Bylon because I used to listen to 3LW. I know I'm getting tired of your broken promises. Like I used to listen to 3LW back in the day. They two little hits. That song I just sang and Players Gonna Play. I don't know the other ones because they was the low rent Destiny's Child. But I used to, and who else was on? Tamar Braxton. I said in the beginning. I ain't talking about now. I ain't know who Jeannie Ma was. So when y'all bring people on, I never heard of them. When we saw The View, when that show first started, I didn't know who Meredith Vieira was. I didn't know who Star Jones was. I didn't know who Joy Behar was. I damn sure ain't know who Debbie Matenopoulos was. So it's about chemistry in people. So it's not always like you don't always need a big name with stuff. Shows always fail when y'all try to do the whole big name thing. But if y'all bring in a different people and they gel with their personalities, I feel like that's great. So that's the way they need to look at it. It's like just bring in someone who could fill that seat and bring the chemistry. But you're gonna need somebody that's gonna say it like they mean it. Claudia's a good commentator or moderator and commentator. Al's neutral Nancy, so he's good with bringing in the statistics and talking about the stats and the facts and all this stuff. He's the good fact checker and bringing the information. So that way I don't have to do all the damn reading. Like he's the Sonny Hostin of the show. It's like basically he just brings in all the knowledge and information and statistics and all that stuff. That's good for you because then I don't have to. Then all I got to do is sit there and just say like how I'm giving y'all the show. I just bring y'all the entertainment. I say the stuff good, bad, or indifferent. I bring y'all. I do that. So y'all need somebody that can do that sort of thing. But you don't necessarily need a big name. And Roro says it's a sad era in comedy when comedians complain about essentially not being smart enough to make people laugh without demeaning people. Well, I also think as well, I do agree with that because I also feel that comedians have to realize, and I think, didn't Cat Williams say this in that long ass Shannon Sharp interview? Is that, yeah, like the comedy, everything in life evolves. So the words that you was using back in the day, the words that are considered slurs or whatever now, you have to figure out other ways and clever ways to get around that to make things funny. And that's what you should do as a comedian. You should always find ways to challenge yourself. You should always find ways to flip things off of what you normally did before because that keeps you on your toes, that keeps you sharp mentally. So I do feel like people need to figure out how to make people laugh without resorting to demeaning people. Dave Chappelle need to take note on that. How many people watch that recent special on Netflix? Because you still going back to the go-to of, oh, you want to talk about transgender people. It's like, sir, you were so late with that. But quiet as was Kevin, I never really found, like Kevin Hart, I never really found Dave Chappelle to be funny. And it's not only just the whole transgender thing that he likes to go on. And then he was just talking about disabled people. Like, look, I always say I'm an equal opportunity offender. I love a good read. I love a good joke. If it's clever enough. It's like when people always going on Matt Rife about stuff he says. I've watched a couple of clips of his stuff on social media where he's made jokes and he's poking fun at every demographic. His shit's actually funny. But I know like people now all of a sudden because he's getting bigger, people have a problem with it. So there's that slippery slope. So there's some comedians out here that really be clever with the jokes. It's like we've got to learn to laugh at ourselves. So there's that. So now let's get to the next topic. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Kyle Richards' dumbass. So she apparently is upset that women been sliding in Mauricio's DMs trying to get, they coochie scratched by his meat popsicle. So the Barbara Levity vented her frustration over the women who were constantly shooting their shot with the real estate broker on social media, saying Mo gets a lot of DMs for women. They don't care that he's married and they're always the aggressor. It just makes you realize there's a lot of effing a-holes out there. Richards opened up about the issue while playing a card game with her co-stars during Anne-Marie Wiley's birthday celebration. Oh, that must have been the recent episode. I didn't even watch that. Sidebar. Anne-Marie, girl, you are a one-season wonder. Do not bring her back, Bravo. She is not giving what needs to be given. And I'm not saying that, all black women are a monolith, but she's not Real Housewives of Beverly Hills material. Like, she gotta go. I don't care who she married to. I don't care what her background is. Didn't she say she anesthesiologist or whatever? And she always talking about Sutton's throat and how small it is or whatever. She needs to go. But anyway, so her response came after Sutton Stracke pulled the card and that asked, what is appropriate for husbands when it comes to communicating with other women on social media? Murder is what Richards replied. I've had to fight with Mo over that. I hate that. Liking people's photos, following people, you don't do that. Page Six confirmed in July 2023 that she and Umansky, who's 53, has separated after 27 years of marriage. And they back then they shut down infidelity rumors and mid speculation about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills close relationship. Look, there's been a whole lot of stuff. First of all, Kyle out here acting like a whole bulldagger, pretending that she want her coochie eaten by a woman for a storyline. Now she playing with her marriage. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And to me, it's like, if y'all been paying attention, she's been kind of hinting that there's trouble in paradise throughout this whole show. But I don't know if the ladies are challenging it or questioning it. Well, actually, they are. Sutton and Garcelle, the only two that's been questioning it and bringing it up. And all the other ladies be trying to act like they don't want to. But I'm like, this is a reality show. Like, really go there with the stuff. So, but my thing is this. There've always been rumors about Kyle and Mauricio's marriage and the fact Mauricio been out here laying low and spreading it wild with other women throughout their relationship, but they didn't address it until this season, until the whole separation thing happened. We've been seeing him out here with all these young girls partying, and I saw a recent picture of him with no shirt on and a pair of booty shorts. They were short shorts, but I call them booty shorts. He's out here taking selfies. Midlife crisis on both their parts, because she's been in the gym, excessively. Then she's getting all these tattoos. So I think they're both going through a midlife crisis. And I feel like, you know what? Fame is one drug that will destroy you if you let it. And I really feel like they're so thirsty in regard to this whole fame thing. They're loving all this energy that's coming in, where it's like all the attention and all this other stuff, that y'all willing to play with y'all relationship for a check and a ratings. But look, we've been complaining for the past couple of years that Kyle ain't had no damn storyline. The only thing she was doing was asserting herself in everybody's damn business. Now I don't know what y'all about to do next season, but y'all definitely need to give a new overhaul. I will say this. I live for Garcelle and Sutton. Keep them. Crystal, I love you, but girl, you gotta go. You haven't given anything in the 3 seasons you've been on this show, but you gotta go. Dorit definitely gotta go. Dorit ain't giving nothing but being problematic and a goddamn Karen, and I stand on that. Like, she's especially the whole scene where she said that you're being, what was she? You're being aggressive and angry. One of the words that she used against Garcelle, and Garcelle didn't like that. And she was like, well, what word should I use? And she's like, well, I don't have to sit here and teach you. I don't have time to teach you and those other, because you know what? As black, I'll go say as black women, like I am. But black women are sick and tired of having to explain to white people that when you say certain things, they can be perceived as a microaggression. So yes, y'all have to be careful with certain words and certain things that you say. And she was like, well, I've said this word many a times to other people. They don't have a problem with it. But I'm like, okay, sis, but how many black friends do you have that you have this conversation with where you weren't aware of this? So I believe that, like I said, y'all are not but TV associates. Y'all are friends only when the cameras are rolling. Y'all are not real friends. And I do not believe that Dorit has black friends. Because if you did, you would have known. And it's funny how Erica, who's been working for her supper this season, she has worked for every coin that she's getting from Bravo with her shady ass. And I'm living for it. She had to be the one to point out to Dorit that, yeah, when you say certain words and stuff, that's considered black women look at it as, there's a stereotype that black people in general, when you raise your voice, when you say certain things, when you do certain things, certain actions, it is perceived that's a microaggression. That's racist. Those are stereotypes. So when we point these things out, and what was irritating is when I posted this clip on TikTok, I was seeing people in the comments talking about, oh, I'm team Dorit because Garcelle always using race as a weapon, or that she ain't got no storyline. And I'm like, so if y'all not willing to see what people are telling you, instead of just taking the information, taking a beat, apologizing, learning, and being like, you know what? I'm glad you told me. I'll never use that word again. I'll be more mindful that certain things have been said. I remember one time I said something to somebody It does not hurt to apologize. It really does. It's not gonna cost you a damn dollar, a dime. It ain't gonna cost you a damn thing. I remember one time I said to a coworker of mine years ago, I had said something, and she pulled me to the. I don't remember what it was, but she pulled me to the side. She was like, because everybody was laughing or whatever. I like to crack jokes, and she had said that you had said something that I didn't, that made me feel uncomfortable, and so on and so forth. So I was like, oh, I didn't know that hurt your feelings. I'm glad you told me, and I apologize. I took a moment because I did kind of come at it in a direct way internally, but that's the Virgo thing. We internalize shit and we just think about it before we say what we're gonna say. So then I was just like, I'm glad you told me, and I apologize, and I won't do it again. It doesn't hurt to kind of come forward and say that. If somebody's offended by something, now if you're gonna sit up in here and just try to clock every damn thing I say, okay, now you're being a goddamn nuisance. Now I don't want to be around your ass. But for the most part, if I say something that is offensive, or you feel like it made you feel a kind of way, it's great to tell somebody. Don't just sit and take offense. Oh, well, you're making me feel really uncomfortable. Bitch, it's not about you and your feelings. You should acknowledge that the thing that you said hurt that person's feelings, and make sure that you don't repeat that behavior. Because as a friend, if you're a real friend of this person, that's what you would do. That's what I would do, because I value the friendships I have. But I guess what Dorit want to do is keep her head up Kyle ass, but quiet as is kept. Kyle done ran over there with Morgan. She ain't thinking about Dorit, and Dorit feeling left out because what other friends she got besides being PK and them kids? But PK over in the UK doing whatever it is that he doing, trying to get some money, because word on the curb is they ain't got none. That's what they said. I don't make the news, I report it. So, but then in regards of the whole Mauricio thing, I will say this. You know what? It is true that there are women out here that when you see that somebody is in a relationship and they got some, because we see it happen a lot. I've seen it happen in real life too. It's not just celebrities. Like, I've seen people that, and I've had conversations with friends of mine who get in relationships, and there will be people that will slide in their DMs and be like, y'all open? Y'all were looking for a third? Like, real disrespectful with it. And I'm just like, I would never do that. Now, if the couple come and slide in my DM, somebody wants some, I'll be like, okay, well, if y'all open and y'all down for it, we could do a little something, something. But I will never be the person that will slide into my DM somebody, I want to hunt your man. Like, no, that's disgusting. And to me, it's like there's a lot of people out here that will be messy for that reason. But I will say this: let's not act like Mauricio innocent, because he loving all his fame too. It's like ever since he, with the agency, and he was able to step out of Rick Hilton's shadow. Is that his last name? Well, we know Kathy Hilton. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, because Kathy married a Hilton, right? And then and now that sort of thing. So when he was working for Kathy's husband in the whole real estate thing, and then he was able to step out and do his own thing with the agency, which I heard is like going through some financial issues too. And then he was starting to get too big for his britches, and plus being on a reality show, that fame, I'll tell you, that fame is a drug, bigger than, more so than getting money. And, with money, it's like, okay, I got it. You can spend it on whatever. But it's that drug called fame. That's worse than crack. And what was the more addictive ones, the meth and all that other mess, them real addictive drugs. So he don't have to take the bait. Like, he's 50 something years old. He ain't got to take the bait from other. It's great to get attention from all these other women, but you don't have to take the bait from them. But you sit up there liking girls' pictures and all this other stuff, and it's going to piss your wife off. He know what he doing, which confirms them rumors that I truly believe that he out here laying low and spreading it wide. He been doing it throughout their marriage, and Kyle's been putting up with it because she's all about perception and saving face and looking good and image and all that other stuff. But child, if y'all don't bring all this shit up at the reunion, I'm gonna be mad. And I'm hoping Sutton does it. I hope Garcelle jump in too. And we need the peanut gallery mind their damn business. The peanut gallery being Dorit, because she always asserting herself with some shit. Like she's Kyle's cheerleader. Like Kyle can defend herself. And if she start that Karen crying, I'm gonna be tight too. Okay, so we got some comments. It's like, okay, look, I looked him and I can understand why she's frustrated, but if she doesn't care and only eyes for her, why does it matter? Honestly, that doesn't mean anything. You can have a minority friend who would not check their white peers because their person don't feel affected by it, but we have those pick me moments too. where there are people that be like, oh, when they say certain things that are perceived as racist, microaggressions, oh, we're not talking about you, we talk about them. Like, I'm exempt from the situation. I said, well, what if you talk about the whole community, because that's your perception of what you think black people are, and I am black. So if you said some shit, I have a problem. Like, I remember I told y'all this story when I worked in the circus. There was this white kid who was friends with this another kid who was half black and half white, and they were from Hawaii. And the white boy was somebody there and say, "Oh, the nigga, 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 nigga." I said, "Excuse me. What we not gonna do is say that word." But he said, "Well, Jonah gave me permission." He was like, "I don't give a fuck what," and I said it right next to him. You didn't give a good goddamn. I don't give a fuck what Jonah said. You will not say that word in my presence. Did he say that word again after that? He did not. And then my other friend said to me, who was there, he's a Hawaiian also. He was like, "I'm glad you said something." I said, "Well, no, you're not gonna sit up here and say that shit." And it's like, to me, I don't understand. It's like, y'all be looking at that word as something completely different. I mean, yeah, it is used in a different term, but when it comes to white folk, no, sir, you will not be saying that shit like you're a part of the community. You don't get to take that word back and flip it and reverse it in the words of Missy Elliott. I've seen this in certain former friend groups I was in, and oh, really? Well, I stand corrected. They should just divorce and move on with their lives. Yep. So, oh yeah. So, so now I get this because I was in my head, I was like confused. Who we talking about? So you said I looked him and I can understand why so you're talking about Mauricio? Yeah, Mauricio. Look, Mauricio is in my opinion one of the hot housewife husbands. When you look at people from the Real Housewives franchises, Mauricio definitely is a good looking man. So it's totally understandable why the girls will be out here, popping their coochie in his direction. But like I said, if they playing around with them, like when people ask them, "Oh, so y'all planning on getting a divorce? Like, what's going on?" Well, we haven't discussed it. How y'all living in the same damn house? Y'all separated. All this stuff was playing out in front of us on these shows, and you're talking, well, we can have the conversation. Really? To me, it's like you playing with your marriage like Kim and Kroy, which we about to get to them in a second. Because I was sitting there thinking, should I? You know what? Speaking of which, let's get to that now, and I'll just have to shift some stuff around. Because I was gonna get to the Young Miami Diddy story, but I'm like, since we talking about Bravo, we could talk about Kim and Kroy house being foreclosed yet again. But I'm like, does this mean they ass actually gonna get kicked out? Because y'all been foreclosing on this house like a half dozen times, and they still up in there like a bunch of damn squatters. But they apparently, I don't know what's going on. Like, are you gonna kick them out finally, or no? Like, let us know. So, according to page 6, it says Truist Bank has filed new court documents arguing that the estranged couple defaulted on their mortgage, and so the former Atlanta Falcons' request for a restraining order against the foreclosure must be denied. Truist also says that it intends to exercise its rights if Biermann and Zolciak's debt isn't paid in full, though through the sale of their $6 million mansion. Well, in the words of Tasha K, I ain't got it. Because I know they ain't got it. The way they run around here in these streets acting like, they don't have the money. The Real Housewives of Atlanta alum and Biermann requested in October that a judge put a stop to the foreclosure on their house, which Truist now says it did voluntarily. It was the second time the pair faced foreclosure. So this is, I guess, 3 strikes you're out. Zolciak was 45. Sure. And Biermann, 38, has been fighting viciously throughout their divorce over the state of their financials and were forced by a judge to remain in the house but live in separate areas. I don't know how that's a War of Roses type mess because there's no way in hell like Kyle and Mauricio, Kim and Kroy. I would not be living in the same house with somebody that just I'd be fighting with all like what? I would have got myself a new place, but I guess their credit is so damn bad they probably can't get a new place. To mitigate their financial woes, Zolciak began selling her and Biermann's designer goods online, and now the athlete wants to cash in on the Bravo celebrities' earnings. And that was the other thing that I was going to bring up too, is that, yeah, Kroy basically wants a piece of what Kim is out here selling. She got a designer goods line, and he wants some of the money. And so he claimed that in a legal filing that the goods are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and added that it is unknown what Zolciak has done with the funds she received from the sale of the items. However, what is known is that none of the funds have been utilized to support the marital estate. He went on, noting that he is seeking an equitable division of marital assets, including the personal property acquired during the marriage, but is currently in the sole possession of Zolciak. So yeah, she's making all this money. What the hell is she spending on? New wigs? A new ass? Like she always in the surgeon's office, and she always wearing a new wig or something or another. So it's like, and I don't understand. Maybe it's because they white, but how are they allowed? It's like Trump. How are they allowed to get away with all of this stuff? Like any one of us out here break the damn law, we be under the damn jail. Yet these heifers could sit up in here and pull all kinds of stunt shows and scams, and they still get to live in the house. Now I wonder, does that rule apply that basically, when you living in the mansion, they've been in the mansion for so long, like what, over 10 years? So maybe it's, I guess once it's hard to get them out that house once, because, squatters' rights, I guess. I don't know. Does squatters' rights apply everywhere? I don't know, because I've never really applied the whole squatters' rights situation. I just is like when people play it in my face, it was like, you gotta go, I get my ass up and go. I've always lived like a gypsy. In a lot of ways, or nomad, whatever you want to call it, where it's like I've always, especially when I was with the circus and all this other stuff, I've always kind of just been traveling around in different places, and I'm like, I don't plant roots in a lot of places for long, and that's fine. I'm like, I've never really been that type of person. I guess I'm gonna be like Jason Momoa. I'm gonna get my ass an RV, because the word on the street is like we were talking about with him and his divorce with Lisa Bonet, that he's been living in one of those luxury RVs because he got the money. So he's kind of been traveling around, and they said he took a shower outside and everything. But Jason Momoa gives me hippie vibes anyway, so maybe I kind of live that life as well. But anyway, back to Kim and Kroy. These two are a mess. I heard that they slashed the price of their home, so it was supposed to be $6 million, but now it's 5.5. But is that really a slash? That just seems like it's a little paper cut. Like you ain't really slashed much. And I feel like at this point, the way them people did that house, it ain't worth no damn $5.5 million. Just like it wasn't worth no 6. I think they need to go there at least 2.5, because they probably spent $2 million on the house. But the property value, I feel like, is less than, especially with the way they've been acting. I would not be spending that kind of money up in there. So good luck to y'all. I will definitely be keeping track of this story as it develops. These two are a mess. I wish they would just hurry up and get a goddamn divorce, because I'm sick and tired of them. And I'm ready to move on to the next thing, which would be Young Miami. And the word on the curb is that Diddy has been cherry pied from her upcoming reality show. First of all, I didn't even know she was coming out with a reality show. But that's according to the news. A Showbiz, shout out to y'all. They said a new report that is to believe the hip hop mogul will no longer appear on her upcoming reality show. The alleged decision comes after Young Miami faced backlash for staying silent amid Diddy's lawsuits, including one from ex Sierra. Sierra? Diddy ain't never hunt Sierra. I think they meant Cassie. Child, y'all up in here. Okay, is A Showbiz owned by white people? See, now, if I would have noticed that error, I would have put that up in there. But I would have changed that. But I'm like, they said Sierra. Child, he wasn't hunching. Sierra wouldn't put up with that. She beat his ass. But anyway, so no details are known about the City Girls members' new BET show. However, it is reportedly set to premiere sometime this year on the network. Recently, it was said that Diddy cut his financial support from his former fling, as he apparently needs to save his money amid his serious legal issues. A person close to her told Media Takeout that Diddy is no longer paying Young Miami's bills. Now, when it comes to Media Fakeout and Fred and them ashy knees, we need to take his shit with a grain of damn salt. So, following the romantic relationship, Young Miami allegedly has been relying on the Bad Boy Records founder for her lavish lifestyle. The 54-year-old rapper had been paying for her private flights, shopping sprees, and rent for her luxury Miami penthouse, but Diddy has cut those expenses now. Diddy still bought Young Miami a Christmas gift, but he is not as generous as he once was, the source noted. Her close friend went on detailing he's not paying her rent or giving her money anymore, and he told her not to expect anything from him in the future. So they also added that Diddy, who stepped down as chairman of Revolt after being accused of sexual assault, physical and emotional abuse in multiple lawsuits, needs Miami's mental support, amid his legal battle. He can really use someone like Carisha in his life. She really does care about him, not just Yeah, okay. Not just his money, but the money is important. Yeah. So basically, she does care about the money, but as long as he, gives her a little something here, there, and everywhere, she gonna stroke the ego and play like the prostitute. When prostitutes, they don't just be, giving the cootie cat. They offer emotional support too. Like I know a lot of sex workers, and they said like I was having a conversation with my friend the other day that does massages and stuff. And every now and again, a happy ending. I had to mumble that part. Was saying that he likes when the whole situation of getting with clients and that emotional connection and all this stuff. Not all prostitutes or sex work. I hate the word. Well, prostitute is old school, yeah. Um, sex workers. A lot of them, it's not just sitting there and just cleaning your area for a client after client after client after client. It's not like the old days where you was like, you know, punching people with carotid air, coochies and booties and things and mouths. Some they also provide comfort. They like the conversation part and stuff. And there's some people I know that like that part of the job. So I'm sure she provides that, but the money is also nice. So I don't know what she plans on. I mean, if this is true, I don't know what she plans on doing because it's like, yeah, Diddy's going through all this stuff and he's being sued by a lot of these people and he had to shell out a whole lot of money for this whole situation with Cassie to go away. And yeah, even though he paid her off, we still talking about it like it didn't go away. We still going to have that ingrained in our brain with him and Cassie and all the stuff that he allegedly did that was in that lawsuit. And he paid out, which makes people think that it was true. So I don't know what that brings. I personally am not a City Girls fan. I could care less about this reality show. If y'all watch it, let me know if it's good or not. But that to me is watching her show is the equivalent of me watching the damn Zeus network. Speaking of Zeus, child, I heard that what was it? I was watching some show and they was talking about how Jocelyn Hernandez may have been kicked off of the Zeus network, that Jocelyn Cabaret and them is not going to be on there no more because she had a fight with Natalie Nunn. I don't know if that's true, but if she did, I don't know what Jocelyn going to do or what network she'll go to. But there's a bunch of streaming services and shows and stuff popping up all over the place. She can probably take it over there. Don't does Ray J still have the Dosh network or whatever network he called that mess over there? Ray J still got that network? Oh, there's a bunch of people out here popping up networks trying to be like the Zeus network, which I kind of wish people would just come out with their own individual thing instead of trying to be like what already exists. Because we already got enough people out here complaining over the fact that we have too many streaming services and networks that only show Black people in the worst light. We need some balance. We don't just want to see a bunch of strippers and wannabe influencers out here fighting each other in a mansion. All them shows are the same on the Zeus network. We need variety because it's the spice of life. So good luck to you, Miss Carisha, and however else you gonna get your money allegedly to keep that mansion or penthouse, not mansion, but the penthouse she's staying up in Miami. But anyway, so let's get to this Jonathan Majors thing because he's still talking about Coretta. He still didn't learn his lesson. He's just like slow. So he's explaining why he can't keep Coretta Scott's King name out of his mouth when it comes to his relationships, saying that Martin Luther King's widow is an inspiration. Now, according to Complex, who posted this story, it said King's youngest daughter, as y'all know, Bernice, criticized him for comments about her mother, where he told ABC News that his girlfriend Megan Good holds me down like a Coretta, and he already got in trouble with Grace. What the other girl name? I was going to say Grace Byers. Ain't Grace Byers the one that's on that show Harlem with Amazon Empire? Um, she was the one that also, yeah, she's on. Funny enough, she's on Harlem with Megan Good, which I told you got a third season. So I don't know why she's running around with Jonathan Majors. Grace Jabari is the name. I said Grace Byers child. But anyway, so he said to the white girl that he wanted her to be more like Coretta and Barack's wife, Michelle. And we're like, why would you want a white girl to be like a Black woman? Make that make sense. And Bernice was mad because she was like, my mother is more than just a damn prop. What you're not going to do is sit up here and diminish my mother to some lady that just stood by her man through good times and the bad times. Because that wasn't what she was. And like I said, if you want to compare her to somebody to be like arm candy, you need to have her be more like Melania. Because Melania put up with all that bullshit Trump got her going through because, as long as she get taken care of and the check clears and do whatever, she going to put up with his mess. Them times that she was out here pregnant with Barron and he was out here cheating. I'm sure he was doing it after the fact when the child was born too. She looked the other way because she don't get to go back to Slovenia. She get to be, the prop. But I do feel like the way he explained it, he did reduce numerous times, even in the leaked video that we heard from the testimony, and in the ABC News interview, he did reduce Coretta to nothing more than a prop. And Michelle Obama, Michelle was doing a whole lot in the White Office as the first lady. She wasn't just standing by Barack or showing up with him arm in arm when they was walking through, the White House fields or wherever when they was getting off the, Air Force One. So he said the 34-year-old continued by calling Miss King Mrs. King, a great woman, a very important figure in America and world history, and someone both Meghan and I aspire by and deeply admire. And then Majors wanted his ex-girlfriend, like I said, to behave similarly to them. And when clarified what he meant about the recording, Majors told ABC News, it was me trying to give the knowledge of what it is I'm aspiring to be. These great men, Martin Luther King, President Obama, and trying to give a reference point to that. I was attempting, and I did a terrible job at it, apparently, that's an understatement. I was attempting to motivate, to enlighten, to give perspective as to what it is I was hoping to get out of the relationship. I think that's fair. Well, look, we'll find out if he goes to jail or if he gets probation on February 6th, which is right around the corner. But in the words of Whoopi Goldberg, girl, please stop talking. I just need him to stop talking because it just feels like every time he opens his mouth about the situation, he just makes the situation worse. So stop talking because I'm over it. And to me, it's like every time you try to explain yourself, we continue to look at you like you crazy, like you just lost your cotton picking mind. And I'm side eyeing you. So stop trying to aspire to be people and just be your damn self. And I just feel like it's just arrogance, his ego. He just not seeing the big picture. And it's just like, just stop. Just stop comparing yourself to Michelle and Barack Obama, to Coretta Scott King. If you want, people to be like, I didn't even know he was trying to be a civil rights leader. I didn't even know he was trying to get into politics. All I knew was here's this man that's career just shot up quicker than a ray of light, in the words of Madonna. And, he was doing all these period piece type films and playing these different roles and was getting a lot of traction in Hollywood. I ain't know nothing in regards to the personal life that's what he was trying to do or trying to be. That's news to me. So I don't know. And I just feel like, Megan, what are you doing? Like, you just the fool out here. Why? No, you need to run, sis. Focus on that Harlem show that I don't know when y'all gonna start filming season 3. But focus on your acting career. I don't see why you left the pastor to get with this fool. And you thinking that he's helping you out in any way in regards to your career. Now everybody looking at you crazy. Like you lost your damn mind. So I don't understand it. But if you like it, I love it. All right, so let's get to our final topic. Because we don't have no comments so far. But word on the street is Zendaya and Tom Holland might be over. Because it said that she unfollowed everyone on her Instagram following list, including Tom Holland, at the beginning of 2024. Maybe she's trying to start her slate clean. Look, Zendaya Virgo too, so maybe she's going through it. But Holland still follows her. And this is according to the Daily Mail, so let's take this with a grain of salt. Now, adding to the concern of fans is the fact that the Dune actress and the Spider-Man actor haven't been photographed together since October 25th. Y'all are pathetic when y'all sit and actually keep track of when the last time somebody been out with their significant other and paparazzi was able to get a damn picture of them together. And I do remember that picture when they were out and they were going food shopping or something or another. Because there was somebody that I'm friends with on Instagram that told me that they stopped at their Target. Nando Cordova. I don't know if y'all follow him. He was talking about how she was they stopped at his Target in California, the one that he works at. So now it says, but the source with direct knowledge says that the acting couple weren't seen together as recently as New Year's Eve, and this is according to TMZ. Now, on Wednesday, the two were finally spotted out and about, but separately. Zendaya, who's 27, was seen driving around Los Angeles with a male friend in the passenger seat. Meanwhile, the Spider-Man Homecoming star, who's also 27, was photographed arriving at West Hollywood celeb hotspot members club Solo. Now, just because they haven't been photographed together since October, look, that don't necessarily mean that they haven't been spending time together. And the thing about Tom and Zendaya, they have always kept their relationship private. We don't really know about it. It took us a long time to even know they were a couple. They always kind of kept that secret, quiet, whatever the case was. But if they have broken up, what does that mean in regards of like that's gonna be real interesting because they ain't even shoot the new Spider-Man movie yet. So that's gonna be real awkward when they're on that set together. And look, many celebrities have done that where y'all are tied when y'all start hunching in real life and y'all work on a TV show or a movie or whatever that spawns multiple sequels and y'all gotta work together. Unless it becomes a situation where y'all want to kill somebody off. So I like Zendaya. I like Tom. I know Zendaya's got a couple of movies coming out. She's got Doom 2 coming out, which I'm really excited about. And then she's got what's the other movie? Challengers, which comes out in April, which is the movie that she's supposed to be having a threesome or something or another. That'll be interesting. And she doing nude scenes, like we going there, like you going raunchy comedy. And and then she's got Euphoria, whenever they plan on filming that. Speaking of which, I like seeing Angus Cloud in that new movie Abigail because he passed away from the OD and all that other stuff. So I like seeing him in that film. And look, the people that's careers is like popping off from Euphoria, what Jacob Elordi and Zendaya. They're the only two off the top of my head I can think of. And I know Maud Apatow was on there, but she's good. Her father is Judd, so she ain't got to worry. If she decided to stop acting tomorrow, she'll be good because her father is a famous damn producer. But everybody else on the show, off the top of my head, I can't really see their careers like really out here doing the damn thing. The only people that I see that's really getting all the gigs right now is Zendaya and Jacob. And it would be interesting to see where Angus's career would have went. I feel like if he was still alive, he probably would have his career probably would have been going good in being a part of an ensemble cast and stuff. Because I actually liked him when he was on that show. He was like one of my favorite characters on Euphoria, so I miss him. Okay, so I see we got a comment. Megan is the same woman who allowed herself to be one of Chloe's hoes in that Halloween picture many moons ago. She isn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed, child. Well, look, quiet as is kept, right? I was like, who's Megan? I was like, duh. It was Jonathan Majors we was talking about. Because I know she spelled all these Megans, y'all all spell y'all names, but I think Megan McCain spells her name that same way too. We ain't talking about the Megan from, you know, the movie. When now every movie has to have a little girl or a robot or something, a child like dancing in a fucking video. That's another thing, sidebar, that I didn't like when I saw the Abigail trailer. The vampire girl dancing. I'm like, come on. Like, I like the horror comedy aspect, but do we have to have a mega moment in every damn movie now? And then they got a movie called with an imaginary, what is it, a teddy bear? I'm like, okay. Now because Megan was successful, now everybody want to jump on the damn bandwagon with their own version. And I'm like, whatever. Y'all let me know how good that is when it come out in the theater. So I guess we are at, I don't see no more comments coming in. So I guess we're at the end of the show. So thank you all for watching today's episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Tune in next time for a brand new episode. I was like, where am I going? I was trying to, where's my comments? Where's my comments? Where's my comments? Oh yeah, I was trying to bring up my name and take all the other stuff out. But yeah, so we're at the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Those of you who are in the comments, leaving your little commentary up in there. Once again, those of you who are watching, please like, subscribe, hit that notification so that way you know when we go live. And also, I want to thank, if y'all didn't hear it earlier, I want to thank all the people that are new that came in that discovered the show in the last episode because of the big funky Dineva Claudia Jordan. So I'm sure that was the draw of why a lot of people came in because that was the hot topic of the week. But for those of you that watched it, stuck around, liked what you saw, and now you subscribe, thank you all for doing that. And all the likes and all the other stuff and commenting and leaving the comments and stuff. I don't take your viewership and stuff for granted. I appreciate everybody that comes in and watches the show and supports the show and all the good stuff because I love doing this. I like running my mouth and talking celebrity news and topics and keying with all the people because I know like times is hard. People out here stressing over work. The rent's too damn high. Food prices going up. People tired of Biden and people tired with him taking the plane in black people faces. People tired of Trump and his bullshit. So, we got a whole lot of stuff going on. The world's a hot ass mess, and people want to come here and let their hair down, take their wig off, get their drink, loosen up their buttons in the words of Pussycat Dolls, and just kiki have a good time and not have to be worrying about all the BS and stuff that's going on in the world. So that's why I do this show, and I want to provide, entertainment to take everybody's mind off the mess. So we go be over here and have our own mess. But anyway, so if you're all for watching, I'll definitely be keeping my eyes on that Funky Dineva Claudia Jordan story and seeing like, okay, because I know what the ratings were, who's doing big numbers, who's not doing big numbers. Because look, you got to maintain that. It's cute or whatever this week, but let's see if you can maintain this next week and the week after and the week after. Because, algorithms be playing. Trust me, I know. One day I got over a million, not a million, over 1,000 or 2,000 views of a video or thousands of views, and sometimes I get under 100. So it'd be a mess. These algorithms be playing in our face, and the math don't be mathing. But anyway, let me go. I'm getting hungry. Drag Race is coming on in an hour. It's Friday night. I'll probably want to go out and get me a drink and hunch. Maybe both, at the same time. So once again, oh yeah, and all these damn bars and shit is going. I know I'm trying to go, but I just remember the Hangar. If you're in New York, the Hangar closed. Legendary bar, been around about as back in the day when I was younger. Before I was able to go out to bars, we had what the hell? We had Two Potato and we had Chi Chi's, which were like two gay black establishments. That's where I met Tyrell Lore, aka Dominique Jackson from Pose. That's where I met her at, and we became, cool and all this other stuff because she used to do those establishments. Then I heard the Hangar closed, and it was like 2 days ago because people wasn't going up in there and supporting. But it's like, look, the rent is high in New York. Greenwich Village is out of control. All these rich, uppity, elite people are moving in, so we're losing a lot of our landmarks. I don't think they'll ever be able to close Stonewall, so I think they're good for now. And we still got Rock Bar, we still got Tires, we still got Julius, we still got the Monster, we still got Stonewall, we still got a couple of spots over there. And then I heard the Blue Store closed. That child, my DNA is all up in there. I know that was TMI, but the Blue Store I used to carry. But I heard that closed too in Chelsea. If y'all know about the Blue Store, you know. With all them booths and things up in there. So now I gotta buy my lube and my poppers and all the other stuff. I gotta buy that shit on freaking Amazon. The hell? So anyway, child. Oh. He said if you let me know. JK, have a good night. And yeah, that was sad to hear about the Hangar. Gentrification is a bitch. I was like, what is somebody if I live? Oh, he's talking about if I go out. Yes, I definitely will. But yeah, so anyway, let me get off the damn line because we almost had 2 hours and I was supposed to be done 10 minutes ago. So yeah, love you all for watching. Until next time, ciao, darlings.